Welcome to our 2022 Pa'au Dhamma teaching series. We are very honored to have Venerable Sayadaw U Kumara Biwenda to continue teaching us a new series on the Buddha's last day, Mahaparinibbana Sutta. We are also very honored to have Pa'au Singapore to co-host the series. The teaching is scheduled for 1.5 hours, including question and answer. Today is part 15. Before teaching starts, we have a few housekeeping notes. We are using simultaneous interpretation Zoom functionality for today's teaching. First, let's go over the channel selection and take a minute to select your preferred channel. Please choose either English or Chinese according to your preference. Please don't stay at off or original sound channel. If you are using a cell phone or a mobile device, when you select Chinese, be sure to click Done to complete the selection. Please select your preferred interpretation language channel now. If you have any questions, please send it to Zoom chat room. Thank you for your cooperation. Now we are ready for the teaching. May we invite Sayadaw and interpreter Bante to start the teaching, please. Dadu, dadu, dadu.
To take 8 precepts or 5 precepts.
Yes, Sayadaw.
Today is a full Monday. Upa study, special Upa study here in Myanmar, but in USA, maybe pre-Upa study, is it? Okay, no problem, 5 precepts. Okay, repeat after me to take 5 precepts. Ahambande.
Ahambande.
Tisaranena saha.
Tidrinena taha.
Panja silan.
Panchatilan.
Dhammaya jami.
Dhammaya jami.
Anogahangatawa.
Anogahangatawa.
Dilandetha.
Dilandetha.
Mebande.
Mebande.
Dutiyampi.
Dutiyampi.
Ahambande.
Ahambande.
Tisaranena saha.
Tidrinena taha.
Panja silan.
Panchatilan.
Dhammaya jami.
Dhammaya jami.
Anogahangatawa.
Anogahangatawa.
Dilandetha.
Dilandetha.
Mebande.
Mebande.
Tatiyampi.
Tatiyampi.
Ahambande.
Ahambande.
Tisaranena saha.
Tidrinena taha.
Panja silam.
Panchatilam.
Dhammaya jami.
Dhammaya jami.
Anogahangatawa.
Anogahangatawa.
Dilandetha.
Dilandetha.
Mebande.
Mebande.
Ya mahawadhami dhamwadetha.
Amabande.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa.
Namo tata bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Namo tata bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Namo tata bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Saṅgham saranam gacchāmi.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Saṅgham saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅgham saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅgham saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅgham saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅgham saranam gacchāmi.
Tisarana gamanam paripurnam.
Amabande.
Anadibada viramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Panatipada Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Adena dana viramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Adena Dana Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Kamesu mecchācara viramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Kamitu Mesa Sara Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Musavada viramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami.
Mudawara Vedamani Sikkhapadan Samadhiyami.
Surameraya Mecha Pamada Dhana Viramani Sikkhapadan Samadhiyami.
Duramiraya Nisabhamada Thana Vedamani Sikkhapadan Samadhiyami.
Idhame Punya
Idame Punya
Asawakaya Vahan Hotu.
Atavakaya Vahan Hotu.
Idhame Silan Nibbanasa Pichayo Hotu.
Idame Tila Nibbanata Pichayo Hotu.
Tisaranena Saha Panja Silan Dhaman Sadhugan Katawa Pamadhina Sambadhita.
Amabande.
Let's start our Dhamma discussion by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sama Sambuddhassa. Today, we will continue to talk about Mahaparinibbana Sutta, the Buddha's last days, part 15. Last time, we discussed about Abhibhayarana and Athavimokha. Then after talking about Atha Abhibhayarana and Athavimokha, Atha liberations or deliverances, 8 deliverance to Venerable Ananda. Then Venerable Ananda already understood the Buddha will take final Parinibbana soon. He prepared to request not to take final Parinibbana, to stay the full lifespan of the Buddha, 100 years, 1 century, 100 years or more than 100 years. But the Buddha didn't give the opportunities to request from the Buddha. That is why Venerable Ananda didn't have opportunities or the chance to request from the Buddha to stay the full lifespan of the Buddha. After giving about the hint, the clear signs to the Venerable Anandas for many times, then after giving after explaining about the liberations Vimokkha, then the Buddha says the clear hint, clear signs to the Buddha, Venerable, the Buddha clearly declares to Venerable Ananda. Then since the Buddha's enlightenment, about maybe 2 months, when the Buddha was living in Welu or Uruvela forest near the bank of Niranjana Niranjara rivers. Then Mara also approached the Buddha and requested to take final Pranibana. Maharaj, he showed, he is the evil ones. Maharaj, the Buddha fulfilled the 10 paramis to become enlightenment for 4 essential and 100,000 disciples. Then this is also not only for himself to have many beings to escape from sufferings by realization of the Four Noble Truths. The Mara intention, Mara, he doesn't want the beings to escape from suffering, to escape from the defilement. He wants the beings to enjoy with the sensual pleasure. When they are enjoying with the sensual pleasures, sure, it is impossible to destroy or to remove the defilement, lova, dosa, moha, mamana, asa, macharia, etc. As long as they cannot remove, cannot destroy the defilements, kilesa, from their mind, then it is also impossible to escape from suffering. That is why Mara create a lot of sensual pleasures in the world. Then most of the people, most of the beings are enjoying with the sensual pleasure. Then they are following Mara's idea, Mara's desire. But the Buddha appear. The Buddha says, Kamana Adinawa Katha, the danger of the enjoyment of sensual pleasure. When they are enjoying with the sensual pleasure, they will have a lot of lova, dosa, moha, mana, asa, macharia, etc. Then it will develop, it will increase more and more. Then they will also experience suffering more and more. They cannot escape from samsara, the realm of rebirth. That is why the Buddha talk about, Kamana Adinawa Katha, the thought on, the danger of the enjoyment of sensual pleasure. Then Nekami Anisansa Katha, the thought on renunciation of the sensual pleasures. Sure, they need to renounce, they need to abandon the sensual pleasure or the enjoyment of sensual pleasure. At that time only they will escape from the sensuous mind, the defilement. Kama do jayati soko. Sorrow, soka, sorrows or limitations will appear after enjoyment of sensual pleasure. But nobody want to experience the sorrow or limitations, etc. But they are experiencing. Why? They cannot renounce the sensual pleasure, especially the sensuous, the kilesa, the enjoyment of sensual pleasure. That is when the Buddha also talk about nekame anisansakata, the benefit of renunciations, etc. Then they practice meditation, then they attain jhana's concentration, for example. Then they can stay with the jhana's concentrations without arising or hindrances, nivarana or defilements, kilesas for a long time. At that time, they also escape from the Mara's scope, Mara's domain, Mara's control, is it? Then when they continue to practice vipassana, according to their parami, their practice, they can realize nibbana. Then when they can stay with the nibbana objects, sure, then, the defilements cannot arise in this mind. That might be especially mega phala mind, lokodra mind. When they are taking nibbana as object with the mind, this mind is called mega mind or phala mind. especially in plasma particular mind, is it? Then what happens? If there's the ions with the very hot fire, then the fly or insects cannot stand or cannot touch those very hot ions with the fire. In the same way, when they are living, taking Nibbana as objects in plasma pati, fruition's attainment, then defilement cannot arise in this mind because of the superiors, the highest supreme objects, Nibbana. Then Mara is afraid of this. That is why he doesn't want the people to realize Nibbana. When they realize Nibbana, they will escape from his control, his domain, his scope, is it? That is why he requested the Buddhas to take final pre-Nibbana since the Buddha's enlightenment soon after. Many times. Oh, many times, many times, is it? Then, after that, today, what the Buddha says, when the Mara requested the Buddha to take final pre-Nibbana, not to freeze the Dhammas to the being, then the Buddha rejected many times also. What the Buddha says, he says, Prinibhadu Dhani Bhandi Bhagava Prinibhadu Sugato Prinibhana Kalo Dhani Bhandi Bhagavato. That means, Bhandi, please take final Prinibhana. Oh, this is the time to take final Prinibhana. He just became enlightenment, but he requested in this way. If we say as our normal watch, please die as far as possible. Then if someone say, you will get angry or not, you will get angry, is it? Please die as far as possible. In this way. But the Buddha didn't get angry. Why? No anger in the Buddha. Then the Buddha only just rejected this by showing the good reasons. I will not take final pre-Nibbana as long as my bhikkhu disciple. My bhikkhu disciple are not so skillful in the Dhamma. For example, practicing or meditation themselves until they penetrate the Four Noble Truths, until they realize Nibbana. Then, after realization of Nibbana, after penetrating all the Four Noble Truths, they are not so skillful to teach the Dhammas to the others. Then, by teaching, the Noble Truth, the Four Noble Truths, the other person also will be able to practice the Four Noble Truths, to realize the Nibbana, to penetrate the Four Noble Truths. As long as they are not so skillful yet, then what will happen? The Buddha will not take final pre-Nibbana. Then he says, I will not take final pre-Nibbana. Then in the future, there are many people who penetrate the Four Noble Truths. Many bhikkhus who penetrate the Four Noble Truths. There are also many bhikkhus who have realized in Nibbana. There are also many bhikkhus who can teach the true Dhamma skillfully. But there are also, the opposite teaching. The teachings or the against teachings of the Buddha will appear in the future. At that times, they need to solve the problem by showing the good quotation, good reference, Pariyati and Patipati, Patiweda, etc. Then they shall have these abilities to solve the problem. Is it? As long as they are not so skillful to solve such kinds of problems, to destroy the enemy's teachings, enemy persons, by showing good reasons, good Dhamma, then I will not take final Pranivana. The Buddha rejected. Not only Bhikkhu, also Bhikkhuni. Bhikkhuni, the Buddha also says Bhikkhu, after the Bhikkhuni, then, the lay person, Upasaka, then lay male persons and lay female persons. Okay? Lay females, women, lay men and lay women, or the Buddha. Upasaka and Upasika, all together, 4, not only 1. So, Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasaka, Upasika, the 4 disciples of the Buddha must be skillful in the Dhamma. Skillful means trying to practice the Dhamma according to Buddha's instructions until they penetrate the 4 noble truths, until they realize the 4 noble, until they realize Nibbana, until they can teach others according to the truth ways. When the opposite teachings appear, when the enemies appear to destroy the Buddha's teachings, then they shall have knowledge or abilities to be able to destroy the enemy teachings, the opposite teachings. Or the Buddha says in this way. Okay, because of the Buddha's rejections, the Mara stopped requesting again. But now, in this case, you see, you may understand, some bhikkhu or some persons, they have the idea. They have the idea. This is the quotations here. Is it? The Buddha says in Mahaprinibbana Sutta. The Buddha says in Mahaprinibbana Sutta, the Buddha will not take final Prinibbana as long as Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasaka, Upasika are not so skillful in the Dhamma. Is it? They have not enough knowledge in the Dhamma, then he will not take final Prinibbana. That is why now the Buddha took final Prinibbana. Why? His 4 disciples became skillful in the Dhamma. To practice themselves or to teach the others. Although the opposite teachings appear, opposite teachings of the Buddha's teachings appear, then they can also destroy, they can also solve the problem. They can also explain the enemy persons, enemy teachings, according to the Buddha's instructions. Is it? That is when the Buddha taught final Prinibbana now. Then according to the Buddha's instruction, there must be, for example, like Bhikkhuni Sasana, like this, is it? Bhikkhuni Sasana. That is when most of the Western, especially Bhikkhu or something like this, then they also, for example, in our Theravada Sasana, there's no more Bhikkhuni Sasana. But according to Buddha's instruction in Mahaprinibbana Sutta, there must be Bhikkhuni. Then although Bhikkhuni Sasana disappear, then why? They're trying to establish the Bhikkhuni Sasana again. Then I don't know, maybe Uttamadasi may know the history or the establishment of Theravada Bhikkhuni Sasana again. But if Bhikkhuni Sasana disappear since a long time ago, then although they're trying to establish with their way, it may not be real Bhikkhunis, especially in Theravada Sasana. Okay? But Bhikkhu in Mahayana, Tibetan, I don't know these things. Okay? But Theravada Sasana, they're trying to establish the Bhikkhuni Sasana by combining the other like Mahayana and Theravada Bhikkhu, etc. It is impossible as to be real Bhikkhuni in Theravada Sasana. I refer only just Theravada. No, I don't criticize the Mahayana or the other traditions. That is why, but related to this, in some Myanmar, one Myanmar Siale, we also studied together. in the Tipitaka Yosaros monastery in Yangon before. She also obtained the Lokia degree from the university. After that, she was ordained as a Siali. Then she was also studying Dhammacharya grade, is it? Dhammacharya at the time. We learn, we attend the class from the Yosiaros together. At that time, she is also quite sharp in knowledge. Then later, okay, she finished the Dhamacharya and she went to the Sri Lankas to take the master or maybe PhD degree in the University of the Kelaniya and the Sri Lanka, etc. Later, what happened? Maybe she also obtained the master degree from University of Kelaniya from Sri Lanka. Later, what happened? She came back to Myanmar by carrying the Theravada Bhikkhuni. One, there are some Theravada Bhikkhuni in the Sri Lanka, they already established with the some Western bhikkhus, etc. according to their idea. But, you know, Sangha councils in Myanmar does not accept their idea. Then if you are a Sealese, okay, then we will allow us to stay in Myanmar. If you like to be Theravada Bhikkhuni, then you should stay outside of the Myanmar country, for example, like Sri Lanka or the Western country. But she doesn't want to listen to the decision of the Sangha Council, Mahanayaka Sero, like Kamo Sero, Badana Kumara Bionsa, etc. Is it? Tipitaka Yosero. Finally, then, although they admonish, she doesn't want to listen, and even, okay, if I will not be a Seale, if you don't allow as a bhikkhuni, then I will take out, even she take out her dress in front of many Searos. Then she was very rude, isn't it? Then me, what is her intention? Her intention is only just to compete with the Searo or bhikkhu like this, not for realization or nibbana. If she has good mind, why? She can also practice to realize nibbana as a Seale. Then she don't need to fight with the Searos. Also, she was very rude. You know, then she undressed she threw away her dress in front of the many Searos. This is very rude, is it? Like this. Finally, what happened? Okay, then she disrobed and married with the Western people. Like this, is it? Oh, I don't know her name, even I forget her name, but you may understand. Only just because of they showed this reference. The Buddha says, Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasaka, Upasika, when they are skillful in the Dhamma, when they can practice the Dhamma thoroughly, when they can teach the Dhamma thoroughly, when they can solve the problem, when the opposite teachings of the Buddhas appear, then I will take final Pranidhana. The Buddha says, now the Buddha took final Pranidhana because his intentions fulfilled, or they showed this reason. But now, you know, today in Chabala Jitiya, the Maras, the evil ones came to the Buddha and request in this way again. The Buddha, you said to me before, you will take final Pranidhana when your 4 disciples are skillful in the practices of meditation, when they are skillful, when they have their self-confidence in Buddha's teaching, when they can teach the Buddha's teachings to the other, when the opposite teaching appear, then they can also solve by showing the quotations of the Buddha's teaching, etc. But now you have Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasaka, Upasika, disciple. They are skillful in your teachings. Is it? When the opposite teachings appear, they are also skillful to solve the problem, etc. That is why this is time to take final Pranidhana. Let me please die as far as possible. What he says like this, is it? Yeah. And then the Buddha, finally, he also agreed. He also agreed. Apostle ko don't papi ma hohi na chiran tathagatasa prinebhanam bhoisati. Don't worry, Maharaj. The Buddha will take his final prinebhana very soon. Ito teina masana echena tathagato prinebhayesati. After 3 months from now on, the Buddha will take his final prinebhana. Okay, then the Buddha agreed. The Buddha accepted his request. Then after the Ida Neva ko Ananda Ija Chapali Chiti Tathagatina Satina Sambajanina Ayusankara Osato. Because of his request, Ananda, the Buddha, already relinquished. The Buddha has relinquished his life maintaining Phalasamapati Ayusankara. Okay? Life maintaining Phalasamapati at the Chapala Jitiya. Today, when the Buddha trially says to Venerable Ananda, then Venerable Ananda realized and he immediately requested from the Buddhas to stay full lifespan of the Buddha. Data to Bande Bhagawa Kapan, data to Sugado Kapan. Bande, please stay for full lifespan of 100 years. 100 years. For the benefits of many beings, for the happiness of many beings, for the compassion of the world, then for benefit and happiness of human and devas, or he requested from the Buddha. Then what the Buddha says, when the Venerable Ananda requests to the Buddha in this way, the Buddha says, Alanda ni Ananda Matatagadan Yaji, Akaloda ni Ananda Tatagadan Yajanaya. Ananda, this is, don't request to stay full lifespan of the Buddhas for 100 years. Now, okay, that is not the times to request the Buddhas to stay full lifespan of 100 years. 100 years, is it? That is not the times. The Buddha rejected his request. Then the Buddha will not stay 100 years of full lifespan of the Buddha. Then Venerable Ananda also request for the second times, the same way. Then the Buddha also rejected. Then Venerable Ananda also requested the third times. Also the Buddha says, okay, Sadahasi don Ananda Tathagatasa Bodhi. Ananda, do you believe the Buddha's enlightenment? The Buddha's body, do you believe the Buddha's body? Then he says, yes, I believe Bande, Evam Bande. Then if you believe my enlightenment, the Buddha's body, why you torture me by requesting for 3 times? The Buddha says, why you oppressed me by requesting for 3 times? The Buddha says. Then Venerable Ananda also says to the Buddha, Bande, I remember the Buddha says one Dhamma to me, if someone have developed 480 pada, 4 roads to powers, is it? 4 roads to power, Chandeti pada, Viriyati pada, Chaititi pada, and Vimansati pada. Chanda, Viriya, Chaita, Vimansa. According to their Chanda desire, Viriya effort, Chaita consciousness, Vimansa Penya wisdom, then they also develop the Dhamma with these four things, then what will happen? Then they can stay the full lifespan of 100 years or more than full lifespan of 100 years. Then the Buddha already developed these four roads to power, 480pada. That is why if Buddha wish to stay full lifespan of 100 years or more than 100 years, then it is possible to stay, to live. Then the Buddha says to Ananda, the Buddha says to me in this way. That is why the Buddha, please stay full lifespan of 100 years or more than 100 years for the benefits of many beings, for the happiness of many beings, for the compassions in the world, like this. Is it? And also for the benefit and happiness of humans and Deva, he requested in this way. Then the Buddha also says, Ananda, I show very clear hints to you, very clear signs to you many times. Many times me when? About, according to the text, it is 60 times. The Buddha says, Ananda, if the Buddha wish to, those who have already developed the 480 padas skillfully, then if they wish to stay the full lifespan of 100 years or more than 100 years, it is possible to stay the full lifespan. In this way, I give this clear hint and clear signs to you for many times. Many times, me, according to the text, 16 times. When the Buddha was Kejakuta mountain at Rajagaha city, the Buddha also gave this hint to Venerable Ananda, but Venerable Ananda didn't realize what the Buddha mean because of Mara. Mara is also always observing the Venerable Ananda, is it? Although he cannot disturb the Buddha, but he still can disturb Venerable Ananda. He still can possess Venerable Ananda's mind. Last time we have explained about this, is it? Venerable Ananda still have some vipallasa, the perversions. That is why sometimes he may also forget. At that time, the Maharaj, according to his power, he can also possess the Venerable Ananda. Then he didn't request the Buddhas to stay full lifespan, etc. Is it? Also one time, in this way, how many times in Rajaga city, the Buddha gave the clear hint and clear signs to Venerable Ananda in this way, 10 times in Rajaga city, in different places. Then 6 times in Vesali country, in different places like Chapala Jitiya. But today, as the Chapala Jitiya, although the Buddha gave the clear hint and clear signs to Venerable Ananda in this way, but he didn't realize what the Buddha mean because of Maharaj, but because of Mara. Then altogether 16 times the Buddha gave the clear hints to Venerable Ananda. Then finally, Venerable Ananda didn't request the Buddha to stay full lifespan. Then finally, the Buddha agree with the Maharaj's request. Is it? Maharaj's request. Then he will take final pranirvana after 3 months from now on. The Buddha says in this way. Then what happened? Although I gave the clear hints and clear signs to you, but you didn't request. If you request, to stay full lifespan of 100 years, one time, then the Buddha will reject. The second request, the Buddha will reject. But that if you request for the third times, the Buddha will not reject your request. The Buddha will accept to stay full lifespan of 100 years. But you didn't request me. That is why this is not my fault. This is your fault, the Buddha says to him. And the Buddha blame him, is it? The Buddha blame him. Why? To be able to reduce his sorrows, his sickness, soka. Otherwise, then maybe his sorrow will be very serious. He will feel a lot of suffering. Then, after saying in this way, then the Buddha also continued to give one talk to Venerable Ananda. What is the talk? You know, Nanudan Ananda Maya Patikeseva Ekatan Sabi Hiwa Piyehi Manapi Nana Bhawa Vina Bhawa Anyatha Bhawa. You know, the Buddha, I taught to you since a long time ago. You know, Sabi Hiwa Piyehi Manapi. All, you know, the dear things, dear persons and dear things. You have many dear persons, like, for example, your parents, your brother, your sister, etc. Is it? Then what will happen? Nana bhava, although you are still alive, sometimes because of some reason, you stay separately with them. You cannot stay together. This is called nana bhava. Is it? Then, because of some reasons, for example, even for the education reason, the parents want to stay with the son and daughter. Son and daughter also want to stay with their parents, their brother together. But because of education or business reason, they stay separately in different places. Is it? Oh, this is also unavoidable. No, it is also it cannot be avoided. Sometimes need to do this because of some reason. Also, for example, the parents arrested by the police, they put in the jail, etc. They have to do, although they wish to stay together in the same family, but it is impossible. They cannot stay together in this way. Then after that, you know, according to the nature, Chatasa Amarana Nama Nati, Chatasa Amarana Nama Nati, when they were born, when they are born as a human being, then they will die one day. It is unavoidable, is it? Everybody must die one day. Then what happened? Okay, at that time, they also separate. Although they want to stay together, they cannot stay together. They will also break each other. Then one will remain in the human world, one will pass away. In this way, they will also separate in this way. This is called Vina Bhava. Anyatha Bhava. Okay, one person is still alive here, but one person reborn in other realms, other destination. In this way also, you know, life already different lives according to their karma. Then, although they wish to stay together, then they also separate. This is the nature in the world. Is it? Tangutathalabha. Although you wish to stay together without separations all the time, it is impossible to stay. They will separate, sure. Yantan, Chatan, Bhutan, Sankatan, Paloka, Dhamma. Everything, whatever arrives in the world, you know, Tanwata, Mablojiti, Netan, Tana, Vijati, or may not be separate, may not be break, may not be perished. If someone wish in this way, it is impossible. Is it? All are perishable. Sabi, Sankhara, Anicca, all formations are impermanent. Although you wish then to stay, then you wish then to last for a long time. It is impossible according to their nature. they were perished. You know, okay, the Buddha fulfilled the 10 paramis. After having fulfilled the 10 paramis, also the Buddha became enlightenment. And after that, the Buddha also gave the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the first sermon. Then the Buddha also showed many miracles, psychic powers. Even the Buddha also went to the towering Deva realms, etc. Is it? Okay. Although the Buddha have such kinds of miracles and many powers, then the Buddha, the body or the 5 aggregate may last for a long time, or it is impossible, is it? Or it is impossible to design us. The Buddha's body also will disappear. The Buddha body also will perish. The Buddha says in this way. Okay, with the Buddha's Dhamma talk, maybe, and the Buddha, finally, the Buddha, Nachiran Tathagata Prinibbana, Bhavesati, the Buddha will take final Prinibbana soon after 3 months from now on. Then Tathagato Jivita Hetu Puna Pecha will make the Buddha already relinquished, you know, the life maintenance Palasamapati. That is why the Buddha will not enter into this life maintenance Palasamapati again for the long lifespan, like this. If someone already spit the salivas, then they will not swallow the salivas again. If someone vomits the food from their mouth, then they will not eat the food again. In the same way, the Buddha already relinquished his Ayu Sankhara, life maintenance Phalasmapati. Because of long lifespan, the Buddha will not enter into this life maintenance Phalasmapati again, like this. Okay. The Buddha says to Venerable Ananda. After that, the Buddha asked Venerable Anandas, you know, there are many bhikkhu who are living around the Vesali country, then please ask them to gather in the monastery at the Dhamma hall. Then according to Buddha's instruction, then the Buddha also informed all bhikkhus to gather in the Dhamma hall where the Buddha lived. Then when the bhikkhu are ready to listen to the Buddha's instructions at the Dhamma hall, meditation hall, then the Buddha says to the bhikkhu sanghas, you know, what the Buddha says. The Buddha talk about 37 Bodhipakkhya Dhamma. You know, since I became enlightenment, I have taught to many Dhamma for the lasting long for the sasana. Is it? What are they? You know, Buhu Sadhuka Ogahetawar. The Buddha taught many Dhammas, especially related to the Four Noble Truths, for the realization of Nibbana, for the penetrating of the Four Noble Truths. Then if they practice those, you know, the Dhamma, those Bodhipakkhya Dhamma, then what will happen? The Buddha's sasana will last for long times. Then if the Buddha's sasana lasts for long times, then what will happen? It will be for the benefits of many beings. It will be for the happiness of many beings. It will be for the compassion of the world. It will be benefiting happiness of human being and Deva. That is why the Buddha encouraged them. That is why you should practice these 7 factors of enlightenment, 37 factors of enlightenment, Bodhipakkhya Dhamma. Oh, okay. Then what happened? then if you wish the sadhana lasts long time, if you wish the happiness and benefits of Himen and Deva, then you should also practice the 37 factors of enlightenment. What are they? As you know, Chattaro Satipatthana. Okay, Satipatthana, Venerable Dhammadasi. Chattaro Satipatthana, the four foundations of mindfulness. Then everybody know. I also explain many times. You also understand many. Sayadaw also explain many times. Okay, according to the Satipatthana Sutta, four foundations of mindfulness, you observe the morality. For example, like 5 precepts not to break. If possible, 8 precepts, 10 precepts. Then based on this, then you try to practice Anapana meditation. According to the Buddha's instructions with the 4 steps. Then you are practicing Kayanupasana Satipatthana. That's it, the contemplating of the body. Then you can attain up to the 4th jhana's concentration. Then when you attain the 4th jhana's concentration, you can abandon the 5 hindrances. Then you have enough vipassana knowledge, enough concentration. Then based on this concentration, you can practice the Titubhasa of the body, also consider Kayanupasana Satipatthana. Then you can continue to practice the 4 elements meditation together with 4 postures, something like this. They are also considered as Kayanupasana Satipatthana. Then when you have analyzed 4 elements and the other remaining derived materiality according to the Buddha's instruction, one by one. Later, you can continue to practice Nama meditation, or beginning from different kinds of Vedana, is it? Then you are practicing, you are analyzing Vedana, Sukha Vedana, Somanasa Vedana, Dhammanasa Vedana, Upekha Vedana, etc. Is it? Then you are practicing Vedana Nupassana Satipatthana. Also, you are also practicing, you are also discerning, analyzing Chaita, consciousness, mind, according to the process, Kusala, Agusala. Is it? Kusala or Agusala. Kusala also Kamavachara Kusala or Rupavachara, Arupavachara Kusala, etc. They are the objects of Vipassana. Then you also analyze according to their process, their nature. Then you are practicing Chaita, Nupassana, Satipatthana in Nama meditation state. Not only Chaita and Vedana, there are also Phassa, Senya, etc. You also need to analyze, dissense, contemplate them. Is it? Then when you are discerning, analyzing, contemplating, Phassa, Senya, etc., then you are also practicing Dhamma Nupassana Satipatthana, including 5 hindrances, 5 aggregates, 5 ayarana, etc. 4 noble truths, they are Dhamma Nupassana. Then you practice actually Vipassana step by step systematically, beginning from Anapana meditation up to realization of Nibbana. Then you are practicing 4 Satipatthana, 4 foundations of mindfulness. Then if you are developing the 4 foundations of mindfulness, then you also develop the Buddha Sasana to last for long times. Is it? In the same way, Chattaro Samappadana, the 4 supreme efforts. The 4 supreme efforts, as you know, Uppanana Papakana. What is Uppanana Papakana? Pahanaya Vayamo. Uppanana Papakana Pahana Vayamo. The efforts to discuss evil, they have arisen. You're trying to abandon the evil, they have already arisen in your mind. Okay, I have a lot of lava, dosa, moha. Okay, I will try not to arise in my mind in the future. Then you are trying in this way. How to do? Then you kill living being. Then you try not to kill living being in the future, or in this way. Dosa, serious dosa, lova, mana arise in your mind. When you try not to arise those kinds of defilement, kilesa in your mind again. Or this is a supreme effort, samappadana. Is it? In the same way, you haven't done a kind of very serious offense, akusala, then you try not to arise such kinds of serious offense in the future. Oh, this is also supreme effort. Then you are also trying, you haven't arrived a kind of kusala yet. For example, you haven't arrived jhana kusala. Is it jhana kusala, lokottara kusala in this life? Then you try to attain jhana megaphala nibbana. Oh, then when you attain jhana megaphala nibbana, then the kusala, they haven't arisen in the past yet, but you trying to arise, you trying to attain such kinds of kusala. Then you have dana, sila, bhavana kusala. Then okay, you also develop those kusala to have more and more. If you are trying in this way, there you are practicing chattaro samabadana, the four supreme effort. In this way, if you are doing, then you are also trying to last the sadhana. You are trying to support the sadhana to last for a long time in you or in others. Okay. Then another one is the Chattaro Edipada, the four means to accomplishment or the four road to powers, the same. Okay, Chandeti Pada, Vireti Pada, Chetiti Pada, Vimaseti Pada. Sure, when you are practicing meditation, when you are fulfilling the three trainings, parami, etc., without chanda, desire, you will not fulfill, you will not practice such kinds of thing. Viriya, without effort, also impossible to complete. Then chanda, viriya, chaita, without consciousness, I'm very eager to attain jhana, megaphala, nibbana. At that time only you can attain. Otherwise, only just practice, it is impossible to attain such kinds of very, supreme attainment. That is why. Then chanda, viriya, chaita, you must also have, the tihetuka. Your patisandi knowledge should be associated with the wisdom, moha. You must be tihetuka person. Then you have your patisandi automatically have the wisdom. Then when you can practice samatha and vipassana, you can take up to jhana's concentration, megaphala nibbana. If there's no wisdom in your patisandi chaita knowledge, then it is also impossible to attain jhana megaphala nibbana. Is it? You develop 480 pada, 4 means to the accomplishment of 4 roads to power. Then you are also developing the Buddha Sasana to last long times. Then another one, Pindariya need the 5 faculty. Okay. Also, there are also the enlightenment factors, no? Factors of enlightenment to become enlightenment. They are factors to become enlightenment. What are they? Chanda, Sada, faith. Sada, faith is very important, no? In every religion. Other religions, their faith is very strong, but they have no wisdom. Okay, every religion needs the faith. Without faith, it is impossible. For example, Buddha Saranam Gacchami, you take the refuge in the Buddha. Is it? You go to the Buddha as your refuge. Without faith, it is impossible. That's why faith is also important. The other religion also, they believe they are God, they are creator with the faith, but they have no wisdom. They will get angry if they hear what I say. Why? Whatever happened, okay, the God created, it is impossible. Now the world also created by the God, is it? There are many disasters created by the God. Why they don't believe their God? If it is so, okay, then Sada, faith is important. If someone has faith, faith is similar to the hand, like hand. If someone has hand, they can take everything, whatever they want. They can touch the computer, they can touch the mic, book, etc. Is it? If there's no faith, although they want to touch, how to do, they cannot touch. That is why faith is very important. If there is no faith, they cannot accumulate any kusala. Even they don't want to observe the 5 precepts. How they will be able to practice samatha and vipassana meditation? They cannot. If they don't practice, then they cannot attain jhana megaphala nibbana. But if there's a fix, like they have the hands, if someone has the hand, they can take whatever they want. They can touch whatever they want. Is it? In the same way, if they have face, whatever attainment they want, whatever kusala they want, they can do. Dana, okay, they can do. They can find the things to offer, to do generosity, okay. They can also take 5 precepts, they can also practice meditation, then they can attain jhana, mega, nibbana attainment. Is it? That is why faith is very important for every religion. Is it? But they only just faith without wisdom also not so good. Then they will have muddha pasana. They believe in the useless thing, or useless thing, like the other creator or God, etc. Is it? Then with wisdom, the faith, strong faith, weak wisdom, they will believe in useless things, etc. Then they have wisdom, but the faith sada is very weak. At that time also, the black knowledge will make problem in the world. They will create the nuclear, etc., to kill many living beings, etc., not the beneficial things. Is it? Then also no problem, only just we know this, but we don't need to practically practice, or they may have such kinds of knowledge. Or also it is impossible to attain jhana, mega, nibbana. That is why between the faith and wisdom must be balanced. Also, sada, viriya, sati, samadhi, panya. Viriya and samadhi, sada, viriya, sati, samadhi, panya. Sati is in the middle, you see. Sati is very important. Sada is the first one, wisdom is the last one. Then between sada and wisdom must be balanced with the sati. Then sada, viriya and samadhi, concentration, effort and concentration also must be balanced. Otherwise, cannot be successful in attainment of jhana, mega, nibbana. Is it? Concentration, for example, sada, viriya, effort is very strong. Concentration is very weak. Then although you try to concentrate on the meditation objects, it is impossible. You will have a lot of restlessness. But you have concentration. Concentration is very strong. The effort is very weak. Then you will be lazy. You will fall asleep many times. Also, cannot attain up to jhanas, mega, nibbana attainment. That is why between effort and concentration must be balanced. How to balance? Then be with the mindfulness. Mindfulness, sati is very important. Stay with the, especially the meditation object, mindfully. Then they will be balanced. When they balanced each other because of strong sati, then you can attain jhana, mega, nibbana attainment. Then you are also developing yourself or the Buddha Sasana to last for long times. Is it? Without developing these 5 faculties, it is also impossible to make the Buddha Sasana lasting long times. Then another one is a Pincha Balani, the 5 strength or 5 powers. Is it? Power, similar, like Indriya, Sada, Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. They are very powerful. When they are very powerful in your mind, by practicing, by fulfilling them, what will happen? They can fight, they can destroy the opposite Dhamma, hindrances. Hindrances you need, Kama Chanda, Nivarana, Bhyapada, Nivarana, Kama Chanda, Bhyapada, Tina, Meda, Odeja, Kogoja, Ujikeja. They are very powerful. They overwhelm and occupy your mind all the time. But when you have these 5 powers, Sada, Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya, by developing those 5 powers, then it will become powerful. Then when they are powerful, whatever objects you want to stay, you can stay with these objects. then there's no opportunities for the arisings of hindrances or kilesa, defilement. In this way you develop, then you are developing the Buddha Sasana for lasting long. Is it? Then number 6, Satta Bhojangani, the 7 factors of enlightenment. I also explained many times in Aprihaniya Dhamma also. Okay? Then you develop the 7 enlightenment factors. Then Ariya Atengiko Mego, the Noble Eightfold Middle Path. Then you also develop the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay? You understand the Noble Eightfold Path, is it? But in this case, altogether 37 enlightenment factors, the factors of enlightenment, Bodhipakya Dhamma. If they are developing these 37 Dhamma, then they are developing the Buddha Sasana for lasting long. Then when they develop these Buddha Sasana, what happens? It will be the benefits and happiness of many beings. Or it will be the confessions for the world. It will be the benefit and happiness of humans and Deva. Okay. Then the Buddha encouraged the Bhikkhu Sanghas to make the Buddha Sasana lasting long by developing the 37 Bodhipakya Dhamma, 7 enlightenment factors. Is it? Oh, okay. In this way, the Buddha taught to them. After that, the last one, after doing, in this case, for example, because of yesterday we have the question and answers here with the Searos and Son. Then what happened? Some they want to reject the Athagata and Tika commentary and such commentary. Is it? What they say is only just believe Pali, don't believe Athagata and Tika commentary and such commentary. They are not taught by the Buddha. What they say is like this. Don't do like this. Okay. This is also many people in other countries, like the Western country, they are rejecting the Athagata and Tika, even the Abhidhamma also. Is it? Then if they reject Athagata and Tika, it is impossible to understand the full practice of the meditations until they realize Nibbana. Only with the Palis is not enough to understand, to practice meditation until they realize Nibbana. The commentary explanations are very important, is it? For example, we ask the respective Searos, then he answered, Searo, then do you accept the commentary? Then what he is, some places are unbelievable in commentary. That is why some they reject all. It is not suitable to reject all. Some, for example, the commentary also may describe some like universe or some qualities or something, qualities of the Buddha with very high word, etc. Then when the other has faith is very little, very less, then at that time they will not believe. It is not important, okay? But for the commentary, Athagata and Tika definitions for the practice of meditation are very important, okay? They only just definite or explain whatever necessary. They will not explain exceedingly, okay? According to the practice, sure, need to follow the commentary's explanation. Without commentary explanation, what will happen? It is impossible to have enough understanding of meditation practice until they realize Nibbana. That is very important. For example, Sunday says, only just briefly, if I explain this will be very long, is it? Oh, okay, this one can say like maybe Mahabodhisattva, then later then we will explain this one, okay? Briefly, without comment, this is only just believe Sutta, Pali only. Don't believe commentary. If someone say you should not accept their idea, this is wrong explanation. That means they have face knowledge. Okay, face, let them face only. Understand? One day. Then, that means without commentary explanation, it is impossible to have enough understanding of meditation practice until they realize Nibbana. That is why we need commentary's explanation. Okay. Then, after saying this, the Buddha says to Venerable Ananda, or Bhikkhu, you know, Handa Dhani Bhikkhu Amandiyami Wo, Vaya Dhamma Sankhara Apamadina Sambardita. You know, last time the Buddha's last word also there will be like this. Handa Dhani Bhikkhu Amandiyami Wo, Vaya Dhamma Sankhara Apamadina Sambardita. All formations are subject to vanish. Strive with earnestness, diligence. Okay, the time of the Tathagatas, Pranivana is near. 3 months, hence the Tathagata will utterly pass away, will take final Pranivana. Handadani Bhikkhu Amandiyami Wo, you know, okay, the Buddha says his last word, or monks, I say you as my last admonition. All formations are perishable. The nature of perishables. Strive with the mindfulness and diligence to complete your text. The Buddha says this one. Okay. Handa Dhani Bhikkhave Amandiyami Voya Dhamma Sankhara Apamadina Sambadita. Okay. The Buddha says in this way. Okay. Then we finish the, you know, the Ananda Yajana Katha. Then by knowing what the Buddha's intention, if you want the Buddha's asana for lasting long, then you should try to develop the 37 Bodhipakya Dhamma, factors of enlightenment. And also the Buddha also encourage you, admonish you not to be neglect, to be mindful. Sabhi Sankhara, Vayadhamma Sankhara, all formations are perishable. Perishable. Apamadina Sampadita, strive with the mindfulness and diligence to complete your text. Your text means to penetrate the Four Noble Truths, to realize Nibbana. Okay, may be able to practice to attain Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you so much, Seattle, for your teaching today. We have about 18 minutes left. May we open the floor for today's questions? Everyone can submit your questions to the Zoom's question and answer now. Seattle, this is the question from September 24th. Vadame Seattle, taking intoxicants like marijuana or acts of killing like abortion are against the 5 precepts. Although these actions are wrong, I don't think laws that prohibit abortion or marijuana are necessarily helpful. These laws might do more harm than good. If I speak against or vote against laws that prohibit abortion or marijuana, would I be breaking the precepts? From anonymous attendee.
Buddhamadasi. Buddhamadasi. Oh, he.
I think Seattle's
Seattle, the Monday tried to talk to you.
I think he has some reception issues. His picture is frozen.
Yes, I think it looks like, yeah. Monday, I think the Seattle's internet probably get interrupted.
Sorry, internet connection lost. Udamadasi. Maybe his internet connection also lost. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, Sadhu, are you in English channel?
Maybe just now internet connection lost.
Sadhu?
Okay, what the question is, okay, the killing.
Sadhu, can you switch to English channel?
Sorry. Okay, now can you hear? Can you hear me? Oh, just now the internet connection lost. I use the mobile. Okay, what is the meanings of the questions? Abortions is considered as panatipada or not, is it? Mm. 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 To prohibit. Okay, tell me the Surah Miraya taking the intoxicants and killing like abortions. This is the country's law. If someone follows the country law, then maybe they break the 5 precepts or not, is it? Oh, okay. Okay, understand. Okay. No, actually 5 precepts, 5 precepts. For example, the other religions, they according to their God or their God's teachings, the animals are only just to kill and eat. Then, if they kill the animals, what will happen? Panatipada, although their God teach in this way, this is wrong teachings. And also law also the same way. Although they do in this way, okay, but the people doesn't want to kill, the people doesn't want to take the intoxicant. This is their right. This is their right, is it? Then they can stay. Everybody must take intoxicant, alcohol. Everybody must do abortion. It is impossible. Then the country, the law of the nature is more important. The law of the natures, the law of the nature, 5 precepts is not only just for Buddha's teaching. Although Buddha does not appear in the world, then there's Chakravarti, Raja, universal monarch, etc. They also teach these 5 precepts to observe. Buddhist or not Buddhist, if they don't observe the 5 precepts, if they are breaking the 5 precepts, sure, and according to the law of the nature, they will experience suffering. They will experience suffering. Good person and bad persons, the 5 precepts differentiates between those 2 persons. Actually, 5 precepts, they are given the 5 precepts because of defilement, although sometimes they break, okay, they're trying to observe not to break again. In this way, they become good persons. If they are breaking the 5 precepts, they don't care. Then, although they are rich or although they are beautiful, something like this, then they are considered as bad persons, evil persons. Good person and bad person differentiates these 5 precepts.
瑞德米萨豆中部26中的阿拉雅，请问是什么意思？谢谢。
阿雷亚 Alaya is like the attachment, like the craving, tanha. Raga, loba, craving, tanha, alaya, they are the same, attachment.
Brandon means if we have already the Samantha and Vipassana meditation in this life, how can we be sure that we will still meet the Saddhamma in our future life if we have not attained Nibbana yet?
If we have already the Samatha and Vipassana meditation in this life, how can we be sure this we will still meet the Saddhammas in our future lives? If we have not attained Nibbana yet, sure, then you know the Bodhisattva, Buddha to be and some are fulfilling the 10 paramis to be Buddha, to be chief disciple, to be the great disciple, etc. Is it? Then because of the fulfillment of the 10 paramis, those kusala, their wish is to attain Nibbana as a Buddha, to attain Nibbana as chief disciple, to attain Nibbana as great disciple, or something like this. As long as they haven't attained Nibbana yet, they will still have defilement. Because of defilement, sometimes according to the nature, they may be reborn in good realms. Sometimes they may be reborn in lower realms, bad realms, etc. But then finally, because of their expression and their fulfillment of the parami, then they can realize Nibbana according to their wishes. Okay, they can realize Nibbana in the future. Saddhamma, they can experience Saddhamma. Especially they can realize Nibbana as Buddha or chief disciple or great disciple according to their wishes, but need to fulfill the 10 paramis.
请问尊者，5000年后若正法消失，只有圣者，那么圣者7世后去哪里呢？
That's why what the question asked refers to the Sotapanna, is it? Sotapanna. When they become Sotapanna, then only just 7 lives remain for this Sotapanna persons, is it? Then they will make end of the suffering. No more 5 aggregate. If there's a no more 5 aggregate, no Namarupa, where they will go? Is it? Why? Actually, the dukkha secca is the noble truth of suffering is the nama rupa, the 5 aggregates. Sankhaitena, Pinchupada, Nekhana, dukkha's. They are the suffering. Then why the suffering appears? Because of the origin of suffering, samudaya secca, especially craving or kilesa, defilements. Is it? Then if there's a still defilements, kilesa, then they will do kusala and akusala, then they will also receive the 5 aggregate. Then when they receive 5 aggregate, jatipi dukkha, jarapi dukkha, vyatipi dukkha, maranapi dukkha, etc., many sufferings were experienced. Then, if they don't know these 5 aggregate are suffering, problem, then they will not find the cause of the problem. Actually, the cause of the problem or suffering is the kilesa, led by Dhamma and avijja and Dhamma, like this, Dhamma, okay? Yeah, this one is dukkha secca and samudaya secca. Then they try to continue to find what is the cessation of suffering. Or cessation of suffering is, cessation of the five aggregate. The me, Nibbana. As long as there's a five aggregate which is existing, then they are still having the suffering of problem. That is why the Buddha taught the Dukkha Satya first, to be able to understand the suffering or the problem. If they don't think this is a problem, so they will have attachment to this problem, they will make many, especially kusala and akusala, especially akusala, then they will experience a lot of suffering. The me kilesa, they were not trying to destroy the kilesa by practicing sila samadhi penya. Is it? And problem were never finished. It were continuous. As long as they are continuously, continuous, then what will happen? Then the problem and suffering, you will experience the problem and suffering for a long time. Okay, cannot finish. So if you wish to finish the problem or suffering, what should you do? Then need to find the cessation of problem, cessation of suffering. This is Nibbana. And when you realize Nibbana, as Sotapatti Magga, only just 7 lives will remain to experience a suffering or problem. After that, no more five khanda. No more five khanda. But and then to realize five khanda, to make the cessation of five aggregate or suffering or problem, then develop the Noble Eightfold Paths systematically. Then they are called Four Noble Truths. Without realization of these Four Noble Truths, they cannot make the end of suffering like this problem. Is it? Realization of Four Noble Truths means this one. And as long they still have attachment, craving, especially craving, also avijja, ignorance. Because of this, they are thinking something with the craving and the ignorance, avijja and tanha. That is why they have attachment to the life, bhava tanha, the attachment of attachment for existence. Is it craving for existence? They are thinking, then they think there's five khanda or life, they have attachment to the life. That is why the cessation of five khanda, the cessation of life, if someone says, then they are afraid. This is the nature of the Buddhojana. Then that is why you should try to understand the suffering or problem first. Then find the cause of problem or suffering. That will be craving or kilesa. Then trying to destroy the kilesa, then the problem or suffering will not be again. Then it will be cessation or suffering. Cessation of problem is Nibbana. No more five khandhas. Okay? Then to attain the cessation of suffering, what will happen? Then develop the Noble Eightfold Paths. This is the penetrating of Four Noble Truths is this one. But for Buddhojana, especially the beings from the sensuous realm, they have attachment. This is called sensual desire, sensuous desire. That is why. Okay, sensual desire. With this sensual desire, if they thinking about it, then they will be afraid. Oh, no more five khanda, how to do something like that? How it will be sukha, happiness? If, okay, can you understand this one?
Randomly 塞耳朵，请问佛陀和三世果圣弟子在什么状况下会进入灭尽定？治病是原因之一吗？
Nirvana Samapatti. The cause to enter into Nirvana Samapatti, is it? One of the reason to enter into Nirvana Samapatti? Or when they are entering into Nirvana Samapatti, when you get Nirvana Samapatti, etc., is it? Okay, here the brief explanation is here. then directly go to Visuddhimagga explanation is better with the Pali, okay? Then Nirodha Samapatti Katha Visuddhimagga volume 2, page number 344, okay? 344. Why they enter into the Nirodha Samapatti? Sankharana Bodhi Bedi Ukantetwa Detwa Dhammi Achetaka Hotwa Nirodha Nibbana Patwa Sukhan Vihari Samadhi Samapejandi. This is the reason why they enter into the Nirodha Samapatti. They don't want to pay attention to the formation. They don't want to stay with the Sankhara objects. Okay? They have disenchantment knowledge on the formations. That is why in this present life, they want to stay without Chaita Chitasika, Achetaka Hoto, no? Chaita Chitasika and the Chaitajarupa. Oh, they completely reach Nibbana, Nirodha Nibbana Patwa. Sukhan Vihari Dhamma. They want to stay peacefully without Chaita Chitasika and Chaitajarupa. Like they completely reach into the Nibbana when they are alive. In this way, with this intention, okay, they enter into Nirodha Samapatti. They completely experience the cessation of Chaita, Chitasika, and Chaitajarupa. But Kamajarupa, Utujarupa, Arajarupa are still remaining. Because of this reason, when they emerge from Nirodha Samapatti after 7 days, Kamajarupa, there's a Kamajarupa, there's also Jivitendriyarupa, life faculty. Then because of this, their lifespan can continue. The Chaita, Chitasika, and Chaitajarupa appear again after 7 days. For example, you don't want to stay with many people because of a lot of suffering, a lot of noisy, etc. Then you stay alone. Why? Your intention is not to associate with many people, to stay alone peacefully. In the same way, the Sankhara for the Anagami and Arhanta person who have attainments, or they have ability to enter into Nirodha Samapatti. Even they don't want to stay with these formations like Five Khanda or Nama Rupa. That is why they trying to stay without Nama Rupa for 7 days. That means they completely reach to Nibbana when they are alive. Okay?
What is
Huh?
What is the difference between the chanda iddhipada, the desire to practice, and chitta iddhipada, eagerness to practice?
Thinking says they are actually, they can arise at the same moment. You know, Chaita is Chaita. Chaita cannot arise alone. When the Chaita arises, the mental factor, Chaitasika also arise together with Chaita, associated mental factors. What is the difference between them? You know, Chaita, sometimes Chaita lead, then the other will be follower. When Chanda is very strong, then Chanda is mental factor, Chaitasika, is it? Not Chaita. Then the other will be followers. Or sometimes the Chanda desire is very, very strong. Then sometimes Chaita is very strong. Then they are actually quite similar. But Chaita is Chaita, Chanda is Chaitasika. This is the difference between those two things. Actually, wisdom also associated with the Chaita. Okay, Chanda, Virya, Chaita. Virya also actually associated with associated with the Chaita. It is also mental factor, Chitasika. But sometimes they are more stronger than the other. Depending on this. For example, you have Loba, Dosa, Moha. Sometimes Loba is stronger than Dosa. Then Loba is leading you. Sometimes Dosa is stronger than the other. Then we call you call Dosa, she is arising, Dosa is arising in her. Something like this. Actually, Loba is also there. But the Dosa is stronger than the other. That is why she is getting angry. He is getting angry. We say like this. Is it? Here also in the same way. Sometimes Chaita is stronger than the other. Then Chaita lead the other. Sometimes Virya is stronger than the other. Then the other Virya lead to do this thing. Then the other become follower. Chanda also the same way. Sometimes Chanda is stronger than the other. Then the other become follower. Sometimes Vimansa Penya wisdom is stronger than the other. Then but they also follow. The other also actually like mindfulness, for example, Sati Patana, actually not only Sati is leading, but there are also Chaita, Chitasika, etc. Many. All Kusala.
Sarah, there's only 2 more questions left. Do you want to finish it today?
What? Okay. As far as possible. Now many are waiting.
Okay, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah.
礼敬三阿斗，学子如此认为，生者为世间父母，佛陀为出世间父母，此为正确否？
Logia parents and Logotra parents. Yeah, sure. Then your parents in this life, then your parents. If you are reborn in, for example, Devara, there will be another parents. Is it? In next life may not be the same parents. Probably may not be the same parents. So there are many parents. The Buddha gave the Dhamma, the supreme Dhamma, Logotra Dhamma. Then you become the Buddha become the Logotra parents, Logotra father. We use like this. It's okay. But if you really attain Megaphala Nibbana, then it will be real Logotra parents. Okay, another one.
Thank you, Sarah.
Random means 除了定、正念、正知、精进和知实相之外，还有什么方法能保持心稳定，不受外境的干扰？
Need internet, for example. There are 4 conditions to become Sotapanna. Is it 4 factors to become Sotapanna? They are necessary. For example, Sadhamma, Sawana, Sabri, Supa, Sansewa, to associate with the good person. This is also external condition. Okay? Need to associate with the external good persons. Then 2 lessons to the Dhamma, Saddhamma Tawana, 2 lessons to the Dhamma regarding Four Noble Truths. This is also external condition, 2 conditions. Then Yoni Somanasikara, proper attention or wise attention is internal condition. Then Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatti, practice the 3 trainings or Noble Eightfold Paths until you realize Nibbana. This is also internal condition. So 2 external condition and 2 internal condition, altogether 4 conditions leads to realization of Nibbana or to become Sotapanna, etc. So need internal condition, external condition.
Thank you, Seattle.
Yes, okay.
May Seattle lead us in making aspiration and chariots of merits. Sadhu sadhu.
Idame punya,
Idame Bonya,
asawa kaya,
Atawakaya,
wahahodu,
Wahahodu,
idame punya,
Idame Bonya,
Nibbanasa,
Nibbanata,
Pichayo hodu,
Ichiyo Hodu,
Mama punya bagan,
Mama Bonya Baga,
Sabasadana,
Tabatadana,
Bajemi,
Ajemi,
Esabe,
Metabe,
Esama,
Metama,
punya bagan,
Bonya Baga,
Abandu,
Labandu, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Thank you again, Seattle, for your teaching and Manju's